What is going on, everybody? We're here. We're live. You know, one of the nice things about this long-ass intro we now have is that I can hit play, go all the way downstairs, get my water, and come back before it's even ready to go.
I'm going to try that one day.
Jay was probably down there, and he just saw me bail. He was like, is he leaving me alone? Where the fuck's he going?
I was making sure like I had stuff pulled up just in case. You never know what happens. Like, there could be an emergency. You know, you didn't have time to text. You know, whatever.
Somebody could be breaking into my house.
You never know. Could have left the Pop-Tart in the toaster and just never popped, so it's catching fire. You never know what could happen. You never know.
That's true, I guess. I don't really worry too much about that. I know a lot of people are very paranoid about like their houses burning down or leaving this plugged in. Or I don't worry about that kind of shit, man.
The only thing that I ever got worried about is like, for some reason, I'll be out and my mind will be like, did I close the garage door? It's a constant. And I always have.
Yeah.
But I'm always worried. Freaking yellow flash in the chat.
What are you worried about?
That left the garage door open.
I mean, I don't think you have to worry about that in your neighborhood.
I don't know what it is. It's a thing. I don't know. It's just like, did I close the garage? So it's more of a mental gymnastics as to trying to remember if I actually did or didn't. And almost not, I don't think there has been a time where I haven't. Become so repetitious just to click the button when you're in the car to close it that you forget that, well, at least for me, I forget I even do that.
Yeah, like doesn't stand out as an action you took because it just comes naturally.
Yeah.
So you can't remember if you did that action that would normally come naturally.
Exactly. So then it boggles my mind like an hour into wherever I'm at. Did I close the garage?
You know, at that point, it's too fucking late. So why worry about it?
But it's just, I can't, I don't know. It's just stuck in my brain.
Either you're going to get home and you closed it, or you're going to get home and you left it open. And
I've never...
changed. Or you get home and it's open and everyone stole everything out of your fucking house.
I've never rushed home to check, even when it bothered me. So that's the one thing I've never done. So there's that.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I figured whatever.
And the stove, I've got one of those. I wish I had a fire stove, but I've got like a hot top stove, like burners. Like I don't have
I got
flames, so I actually have left that on before for like an entire night and totally forgot about it, and like came back in the morning and like almost put my hand on it and it's hot. I was like, oh fuck. Well, my bad. I've left candles burning all night before on accident. Like I've had shit like that happen, but
I got one of those glass top burners. I hate it.
I would prefer an actual gas like flame.
Yeah.
Oh, but we can't have everything we want.
No, we can't.
Sometimes we can't have anything we want. That's a shitty life.
Bad.
Alex McCarthy for $2. Taco Tuesday. Meta PC code RK Outpost or Drunk 3PO. Yeah, go check out Meta PC's. Link is in the description below. Thank you, Alex, for the reminder. Taco Tuesday. Tacos would be good today.
I think tacos is a great thing to have today.
That's a good idea.
I'm not getting the chicken nuggets. So I'm a little hesitant on getting the Taco Bell chicken nuggets. Not that I probably wouldn't eat them, but I'd rather spend my money on another cheesy gordita crunch.
I'd have to take a flyer and try it. You know, why not? Super Mastermind. Make Ryan go to CatCon. Thumbs up this comment, chat. I don't know what CatCon is. Sounds like Tobias would like it, though. Is it a furry thing or is it like an animal thing? Cats can be kind of chill, you know? Look, dogs are a much better bet than cats. Basically, 9 out of every 10 dogs you meet is cool as fuck. And like 4 out of every 10 cats you meet is cool as fuck. The rest are assholes. But that doesn't mean there can't be some cool cats out there.
I'm a cool cat. Just don't talk to me about cats as pets. You've already been down that road. We don't need to cover that anymore.
That's why you left the garage door open.
Sure. That's right.
Yeah, I mean,
you got me all figured out.
Yeah, like, again, I like dogs. I prefer dogs. There's some cool cats, though. Cats can be good. Like, you got a cat that acts like a dog, that's the right cat to have. Mo Zamboni says, hey, you guys.
You got to stay like sloth, man. Come on.
I'll leave it for you.
Hey, you guys. Goonies celebrated their 40th anniversary. We did our Goonies stream on the Monday Hangover. With a pleasant surprise, I was able to text the owner of the Goonies house, who had a massive party celebration with all the actors. He was able to hop on the live stream and show the house on the show for about 10 minutes until he had to go, and the media was there as well. So he's like, I got to do an interview with these the local media. So I give you about 10 minutes, Jay. It was pretty awesome. He showed the house and everything. Quite a treat. He got it all figured out. I sent him a StreamYard link. He never used it before. He figured it out, hopped on, walked us around the house, everything, told us the story. It was pretty cool. So if you didn't see it, I know everybody was watching, Escape from LA. So it's still up if you care to see it.
There you go. Never been a big Goonies guy.
I hear that.
But a lot of fans out there. Yellow Flash is here. Says, Jay, tell everybody about Splatoon Raiders.
We're trying to talk in my early show. We're trying to go over the news of the day, and he's spamming. He almost got banned. He was spamming my chat, spamming my chat about Splatoon Raiders, a game I probably won't play. But Splatoon Raiders apparently is out today, and Nintendo announces a Splatoon Raiders game just for the Switch 2. How do you like that? Like, it came out like 2 hours ago. Special announcement. Ryan, is that a game that you're probably gonna buy?
I give no fucks.
Yeah.
I did play my Switch 2 a little last night. Surprise new Splatoon game. Survival spin on classic Squid Kid play. God, that sounds disgusting. Like, why would you phrase it like that?
It's Polygon. Polygon is why.
Kid
there
play.
You have it. I haven't seen the trailer. I haven't seen anything, but man, Yellow Flash has really got a big boner for this for some reason. I don't know why, but there you go.
Yeah, I played Pokemon Violet on the Switch 2 last night. I did a little gaming stream. Basically nobody showed up, so I'm sure I'll do it again soon, and no one will show up. No one really cares about Pokemon or me playing Pokemon specifically, but that's okay. It is actually like significantly better on the Switch 2. With that being said, I wouldn't recommend anybody buying a Switch 2 until there's more like games out there for it specifically, even though it does enhance the play as some of the other ones.
I know. I think I'm gonna do some GoldenEye. I saw GoldenEye there in the old queue, but I'm really waiting on the GameCube stuff. They only have 2 games for the GameCube. There might be more. I hope they drop Nightfire for the GameCube. That would be the best.
And what
I'll
other
be out.
game gives you the satisfaction of shooting someone while they're on the toilet as your first act in the game?
It's so awesome, man. It's so awesome. You play as odd jobs and throw the hat and kill people in the throat.
Why do you always call them odd jobs?
What do you call them?
His name, Odd Job. It's like a singular.
Oh, okay.
But
I don't
you
know.
always call him Odd Job.
Odd jobs.
And I've never
Yeah.
corrected you until now. But
I probably will always call them odd jobs because it's something I've always said.
you probably will. Odd Job.
Yeah.
Stigma. Cool to see James Arnold Taylor with the boys at the Fan Expo. Say what you want about TCW. His Obi-Wan was amazing. Hey,
Yeah,
he's
it
a
was
really
awesome.
good, he's a really talented voice actor. I hate TCW. But James Arnold Taylor seems like a cool dude.
He's nice.
Blue Shell Draw 4. Thanks for the gaming stream, Ryan. One person showed up. Now I have to ask, Ryan, do the bubble machines bother you like how they bother Jay? What does that mean?
Why are you bringing that up? I hate bubbles. I hate those freaking bubble machines at theme parks and events. I hate that they have them. I don't like them. I'm always stuck behind somebody with a freaking bubble machine. Always. And they're just shooting a million bubbles in my face. I hate it. I never say anything. I just keep it to myself.
They don't particularly bother me. Now, every once in a while, you'll have some fucking kid that comes and like hits, like literally puts it right up against you and like soaks you with them almost. That's fucking annoying, obviously. It would be to anybody. But I don't mind the bubble machines. I like when kids start hitting each other in the face with it. I think that's funny. Or they're just like pouring bubbles like all over their brother's head or some shit. I think that's good. I don't mind the bubbles. Is that why there was some random meme about you and Bubble Boy today?
Yeah.
Okay. SpongeBob, dude. Single guy cooking. Jay, is your refrigerator running?
Yes, it is.
Better go catch it.
Yeah.
Beardo's war against tweeners. Heading to Jay's house now to rob everything.
Because I left my garage door open. What would you steal if you came into my house?
All those game systems in the background.
Yeah, that'd be kind of hard to get it. I guess not for a thief, right?
Actually, it would be funny for somebody just to go in there and steal your green screen.
Yeah.
So you couldn't have your background. That would just be like the most annoying theft. Go to Amazon Prime, fucking order 2-day shipping for you to get another one for like $40 or whatever, but still. Doug May for 5 just got through the Dark Tide duology. Awesome. And Dark, 16 books to go. Awesome and Dark, 16 books to go. Yeah, New Jedi Order, there's a lot of books in there, but if you read them, I think it's pretty rewarding. Speaking of Amazon Prime, Jay, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can go see Superman a few days early.
I heard.
You know, this story came out a few weeks ago, and it was kind of surprising. Amazon and DC Studios partner for early Superman screening through Prime Premiere. Now, the reason it was kind of strange is because obviously, Prime, like Amazon Prime, not associated with like Warner Brothers Discovery, right? But this is like a partnership that they're doing. Amazon has done some Amazon releases in theaters, early screenings of say like Rings of Power and stuff like that before. And DC and Warner Brothers have also done early kind of fan screenings for things like The Flash, I think, had a Tuesday screening that you could buy early tickets for. And, you know, limited capacity, limited theaters, limited show times, but a little bit of an early thing that people can see. But the fact that DC is doing it through Amazon, so if you are an Amazon Prime member, you can validate your Amazon account and go buy tickets to this event. And they released tickets this morning for it. So you can go see it July 8th at 7 p.m. as opposed to waiting a few days. I think that's the Tuesday. So you could see it 2 days before anybody else can possibly see it. Unless you are international, then they see it on the next day anyway. But I don't know. What do you think, Jay? What do you think about the special Prime member exclusive event? I guess HBO Max members, you're shit out of luck, but Prime members, there you go.
That's kind of weird, right? I don't know. Maybe I'll try to get tickets. We'll see. I'll go early on a Tuesday. So I'll have the inside scoop of the entire film and wonder if it's true they've taken the American way out of this film and let everyone know. I do have Amazon. I do have Amazon Prime. I only have that, man, because I want that free shipping to my house. You know, like you got to have that free shipping. But you know, Chris Gore. Yeah, this article. Trust Chris Gore. Actually, I prefer listening to his reviews before I even see the film. So,
well, yeah, that was the thing we talked about the other week. Was
yeah,
on the back of a bunch of merchandising, there was kind of a new summary of Superman as a character. And even though James Gunn, when they announced the Superman movie, like back in 2022 or whatever this was like Superman's the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way. They said that when they like announced Superman Legacy.
yes.
But now essentially the same summation of the character on the background of this merchandise was saying he embodies truth, justice, and the human way, whatever the fuck that actually means. And so a lot of people say, well, they obviously are going that way in the movie. That's why they removed that. They replaced with the human way. According to some people with inside knowledge of the movie that either have seen it or know people who have seen it, they kind of say the same thing, that there's no push about Superman, the American way, nothing like that. Now, I don't know if I would expect them to be like, I represent truth, justice, and the American way. But in terms of the themes that are throughout it, that's something that can be important. For instance, Man of Steel, right?
Yeah.
There's never one where Henry Cavill's like, I represent truth, justice, and the American way. But he has a very specific conversation at one point in time. General, I'm from Kansas. It's about as American as you can get. Shit like that, where truly they're trying to honor that. I guess that's not happening in this movie.
I guess we'll find out. It's too bad. It's James Gunn. It's Hollywood. It's expected. It's expected. I think they feel like being pro-America is controversial, because they just want people to hate America. In my humble opinion, it seems like so they can't put anything pro-America into anything. Well, maybe not even maybe early Captain America film, yeah, maybe, but not recently. Not with today's Hollywood.
Well, and like you've got, I think Kevin Smith was talking about this the other day, and he was like praising James Gunn for the politics in the movie and how well it represents us currently as in our political landscape. Like I've heard stuff like that.
Here we go.
So I don't know.
A movie for the modern audience in today's political landscape. TDS.
If you're not an actual Amazon Prime member, I think tickets go on sale tomorrow for the official release. About a month out, which is kind of normal. A month out is usually when tickets go on sale, not 50 days before like Fantastic Four did for some weird reason. I don't know if we'll have random stories about Fandango crashing and blah, 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 and all this bullshit like we did for Fantastic Four. But tickets are technically available for Superman. James Gunn.
Can we go to the Fantastic Four news?
Sure.
I'm really excited about this. They really gone above and beyond with the popcorn buckets. Can I play this?
The hunger is real.
Here we go. They even got a commercial.
Okay, we should eat.
Ryan, did you know that this popcorn bucket will cost you $80 if you plan on picking it up? Holy crap, dude. They're really going in thinking this is going to be a collector's item. $80 freaking dollars for the popcorn bucket at AMC.
That's a lot. You know what? People are going to buy it. Like, people are going to buy this 1,000%. I actually do think that the bucket looks really fucking cool. $80 is way too much, dude. Especially when you get to like the quality of these popcorn buckets specifically that you get from these theaters, $80 is insane. But there's going to be a lot of people that buy it. It looks cool.
All right, so wait. So you're telling me people will I hope it's not the same people that buy this popcorn bucket and complain about $80 video games. I hope it's not the same people, but yeah, when they released the price tag today, we was like, holy freaking crap, man, for a popcorn bucket. I'm trying to think of like they usually cost around $20-$25. Some maybe close pushing 30, but $80, man.
Well, here's the thing. Have you seen the resale for some of these popcorn buckets?
Yes, I have.
They're wild.
Like look at this. Already 150 on eBay before it's even out.
Yeah.
I just like
these are going to sell out, and whether it's because people really want it or because they want to resell it to other people who can't get there, because they usually have limited quantities of these types of ones. People will pay it, and I think it's crazy, but people are going to pay it. It's a cool looking bucket, bro. One of the only cool things about this movie so far has been the way Galactus looks. We've seen almost nothing of him, though. That's the thing for me. I don't know if I could justify spending $80 on it if I don't know if I'm even going to like him in the movie or like the character. So I don't know.
These things have like exploded on the scene, though, man. They've just popcorn buckets have taken over. There has been a couple cool ones and a couple dumb ones. There's the Dune one right there. Yeah, I don't even want to know. I do think one of the coolest ones I've ever seen was the Batman one with the bat symbol. I thought that was freaking awesome. I don't know what that one would cost, but it's so crazy that here in America that this popcorn bucket fad, which I believe started with the theme parks.
It did. It's your fault.
Has gone like freaking crazy. You know, Chris Gore in the chat says the popcorn bucket is the new butter dish. Now, the thing is, the Figment popcorn bucket that sold 3 years, I think it was 3 years ago, at Epcot theme park at Disney was like one of the first of its kind. A special design popcorn bucket made of Figment, the Imagination Dragon. All right. And yeah, it doesn't really look like that. Oh, that's the Mission Impossible.
It's like, but this is basic bitch shit. It wasn't like one of the fancy ones. This is like, hey, for $7 or whatever.
So that Figment, and we did a video on Park Hopping, that Figment popcorn bucket, the first edition, was selling in the park for about $20, $24.95. They were selling, I mean, not listed. They were selling because the national news was covering it. Those buckets were selling for $1,500. And so these resellers were in line, and they took their kids out of school because you were only allowed to buy two. They got their grandmother, their mother. They had lines of like 10 people in their family to buy two of those things to try to get $1,000 each for those popcorn buckets. It's unbelievable how like people were paying for that stuff. Then a few years later, they came out with Figment popcorn bucket 2. Didn't have the same kind of effect, but yeah, I think the only one I have is the Ghostbusters one, because I thought that was pretty cool. But the thing is, like
I've got a Slimer one for Ghostbusters, the one where he's holding the popcorn out.
They never put the popcorn in it. They just give you the bucket all wrapped up, and then they give you like a bag that you could dump in it if you want.
You can ask, but most people don't, because most people, that's the thing. No one's actually eating it. They're just displaying these popcorn buckets. They're not using them as buckets. But
yeah,
it's a cool, like they've got the How to Train Your Dragon popcorn bucket Universal that looks pretty cool. They've got the Mario on the cart popcorn bucket there that actually looks pretty cool as well. But
and then Universal
does money to shell out for some of this shit.
Yeah, Universal. I mean, look, I bought the freaking Jaws sipper because I thought that was cool.
I remember when Beetlejuice 2 came out, they had some really cool popcorn buckets for that. And the place I went to didn't have one. And so I was like, I wonder what it is. And I looked it up on eBay, and they were selling for like $100 fucking dollars.
Jeez.
Yeah, you know, so there, it as annoying as it is, or as nonsensical, there's a demand for it.
What was that? Do you think this will be the Beanie Baby fad? You know, like it's all cool, and then all of a sudden, it's like nobody cares for this stuff anymore. Listen, you're going to a movie. If you don't go to the early one, you're paying top dollar. I don't know where you guys live. Depending on where you live, tickets ain't cheap. You know, you're gonna get a drink. You're gonna spend a couple bucks on that, and then you're gonna plop $80 for the head of Galactus sitting in your lap while you're watching this film, so you can put it on the shelf. I mean, you know, I guess it's just something different that people want to collect.
Yeah, I think the Beanie Baby craze, there are certainly people that are like reselling them, whatever, but there are also a lot of, the reason that the resale numbers are so crazy for them is because there are people that do want them. They want to display them. People have massive displays of them. Whereas there did become a time where people got into the Beanie Baby thing because they thought there was money involved in it, and that's why they did it. More so than, like, are you going to display all your Beanie Baby? Unless you're a fucking weirdo and a freak, you're probably not. But
you've seen those videos of like people that had thousands of them. They were holding on to them for years because they thought they had millions of dollars.
Bro, I had a big trash bag full of them, man.
And then all of a sudden it's like
my mom fucking gave it to the church rummage sale or something. Which is bullshit.
The phase just crashed, and they were like, they're not worth anything anymore. $80 popcorn bucket. Never thought I'd see the day.
I'm still upset about that shit. I'm sure they weren't worth anything anymore, but
maybe at the time.
Snacks for $1. Ryan, do you think you could outcurse Gunnery Sergeant L. Hartman?
Yes. I'll answer for him.
Listen, he's got a way about him, you know. I don't know if I should be put on that level. Nader's Bricks for 2. James Bond Nightfire is my favorite multiplayer game that myself and my brothers played a lot back in the day on GameCube and Xbox. My older brother still has the Xbox version. That's the one with the Q claw, right?
Yeah.
We could grapple and like move quick. That shit was fun. I mean, nonsensical, but it was fun as shit. Saku Kocho. I do want How to Train Your Dragon to succeed because it's better than what Disney does. But mainstream media, especially in London, love to ask bait questions. That's all they care about. Well, look, it was with the times in London, and I don't know if you can qualify it as a bait question or not, but bait question or not, it was a very poor answer, in my opinion, by one of the stars of How to Train Your Dragon. Jay, we've seen Disney attempt the live action adaptation of animated classics multiple times within the past decade to a variety of successes. Early on, a lot of them made massive money. Recently, we've had a significant amount of failures, massive flops like Snow White and Little Mermaid, and you can go on and on. Certainly, Lilo and Stitch succeeding at the box office, even though some people had a way with maybe they ended that movie in comparison to the original one. But Universal is sticking their toe in this as well. Universal and DreamWorks, How to Train Your Dragon live action adaptation hits theaters in a few days. And everything we've heard so far, from after CinemaCon to, you know, the reviews leading up to the release of this thing, they've all said essentially the same thing. The people that are negative about it and the people that are positive about it, they're all saying the same thing. That it's essentially just the animation brought into live action in terms of the story beat, in terms of the way the dragons are designed, in terms of the music, everything.
Frame by frame.
Essentially, yes. So the people that are negative about it, it's got like 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the negative reviews have been, you know, it really stuck too much to the source material. And the positive reviews have been like, I love that this stuck to the source material. And I do think it's going to be pretty successful, especially if that's the way it is, if those reviews are accurate. However, there's one specific thing that from the announcement of the casting and the first shots we had from behind the scenes wasn't exactly like the movie itself, at least the animation. And that was the actress, Nico Parker, who's playing Astrid. Obviously, Astrid, blonde hair, blue-eyed. Nico Parker, not blonde-haired or blue-eyed. Nico Parker is mixed race. I believe her mom's half black, so I think she's a quarter black. She's very light-skinned. And honestly, I don't think there'd be much controversy about the casting if they just put her in a fucking blonde wig. and made her look like the character she's supposed to look like. But of all the things, that's pretty much been the only kind of knock on this movie. She picked a very, very bad time to speak out about this. How to Train Your Dragon star Nico Parker says, I just don't care that people are upset over her casting. I can't value your opinion on my hair.
Nice.
Nico Parker is paying no mind to those who are upset about her casting in live action How to Train Your Dragon. In a recent interview with the Times of London, Parker addressed the online backlash surrounding her casting as the young dragon butt kicker Astrid. Some were upset that Parker doesn't have blonde hair and blue eyes like the character in the original animated How to Train Your Dragon. However, the 20-year-old British actress explained she doesn't let these comments get to her head. There's some people that really love the animated movies and really wanted to see exact play-by-play of that film, and I hope you can watch the new version and find something you love about it regardless. But for the people that just hate inclusivity, hate change when it comes to that side of things, I just don't care. If I wouldn't value your opinion on most things in life, I can't value your opinion on my hair. If I did, I would go mad. Now, I don't think this is necessarily a Rachel Zegler level PR disaster or anything like that. However, it's very bad timing just a few days before the movie. There's a lot of positivity going into it. And there are much better ways to answer this question. If I were asked that, and if it was me and I was in her shoes, I would say, hey, look, the reason we're doing a movie is because people love the animation so much. They love that movie. And I think we've really done our best to try to keep all of the storylines beat for beat. And when people who love that movie come in to watch ours, I think they're going to go away, feeling like they just saw the animation come to life. And I get that people care about these characters. I understand that. And, this is the way we chose to go for it. And I hope even if you do have doubts, I get there's big fans about there. I hope you give it a chance and come see it because I think we put on a really great show for you guys. That's all you got to say. That's the way you should say it. But now we got headlines like this.
They just can't help themselves because they think that it's like, for me, like when you answer, in my opinion, when they answer stuff like this, it's like this main character syndrome. It's like, well, if you don't like it, don't watch, one of those things. And it never works out in the person's best interest when they attack people for their opinions, because anytime you have a successful IP, you have the fan base that are, they're purists. You have those that are like, they didn't want to see any change. They're asking questions. What was the direction? Why was there a change? Because I think it looked better the way in the animation and stuff like that. And to come back and dismiss those people's concerns is always a bad look. I agree with you. You should have just answered it in a different way. Saying that I don't care what you have to say about my hair, like that's just very pride, saying like whatever, like your opinion doesn't matter. No matter what IP there is when it becomes popular, there's passionate fans that care about every little detail, the little things like that. And if you take the time to understand why certain people are passionate about an IP and a character that you're portraying, then you will have a better answers than this. I just don't care. I mean, you really would. You would have a much better answers than this, but they never learn. It's always the women too. That's something.
It typically is, yeah. And again, I don't think that this equates the same to what the things Rachel Zegler said in the lead up to this, and the disrespect she showed the original and what she said to people, like all that stuff. I really don't think that that's the case. However, it's not going to help things.
No,
like a comment like that a few days, it's not going to draw more people to the theater. Might convince some to stay behind if they were wondering whether they should get in on it or not. But it has been interesting to see some of like the code, because like I said, the reviews for it overall are pretty good, with a lot of people saying the same thing, that it's very much just the live action brought to life, with maybe the exception of a main character or two. But I've even seen stuff like this, people trying to cover for the live action failures by saying stuff like this. Variety. How to Train Your Dragon review. DreamWorks swoops into the remake game with respectful cover from co-director of the 2010 tune. And yeah, by the way, the person who did the original one is involved in this one.
That's what I thought. Yeah, okay.
Dean DeBlois protects his baby, showing that the leap from computer animation to live action is safer than the trial and error update strategy that Disney's been attempting with its hand-drawn classics. So this article is basically trying to say it's much easier to do the computer generated animation to live action than it is when it's hand drawn animation to live action. When reality, if you just stick close to the story, that's kind of what people want. It could have been made 60 years ago. It could have been made 5 years ago. If you do one of these live action adaptations, if you keep it close to the source material, that's what people want. That's why they're going. That's why they care about the property to begin with.
I think this movie's gonna do numbers.
I think it's going to do really well.
Despite the hair controversy, I think it will do. I think it will do very well, especially if there's really not a massive story switch. The first movie was excellent. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it. Actually, I saw it after visiting Epic Universe because I was like, I never really saw the films, and I really enjoyed the Isle of Burke and Epic Universe, the theming, the music, even the show. I thought the show was pretty awesome. So, like, I watched the first two when I got home. I haven't seen the third one yet.
Third one's not as good. It's okay. The first two are fantastic, like legit fantastic stories. And
Yeah,
I think it's good.
I've
I've been saying since the trailer came out and we saw that they kept the same style for Animation of the Dragons that I think it's going to do really big things. Now, I'm not saying it's like $1 billion movie or whatever, but I think it's going to make a lot of money.
I agree. When does this come out? Today,
Thursday.
this week, right?
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. Dun, 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 dun.
That's right. That's right.
It'll be fun. Be a fun.
Said Ryan gets choked up watching How to Train Your Dragon. I think there's some like very moving parts of it, especially a lot of the father-son stuff that's in there at the end of the first and about midway to the end part of the second. Yeah, it's good. I think it's really good. Built like Beardo. I like the fuzzy tacos. Look at that dog.
Yo, that's messed up. Built like Beardo. I saw it.
Demaj and I for 2. Jay, you got to get a smart home. Garage probably solved. Garage problem solved.
The problem with the smart home is you don't have a smart owner. That I'd probably mess the whole thing up and push a button and open all the windows and doors, and a neon sign would light up. Hey, free stuff here. I hear you though.
Nagarnal, dude, the Taco Bell chicken nuggets slap. Always got to get a cheesy gordita crunch though. People are saying good things about them. They've tried a lot of chicken things in their menu before that haven't exactly stuck around. Dandy O. Hollywood needs to hire Tom Felton as a PR coach. We're going to get into that a little bit later about another controversy out there. Nagarnal for 5. Hot take, Nightfire greater than Goldeneye. Nothing beats the pause music, though.
I love Nightfire.
I mean, it came out like 5 years later, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the step up in terms of, gameplay and everything was different.
I like how like you can control like the missile.
Yeah.
You're playing multiplayer and it's like they're hiding in a corner. It's like shh. You just kill them. It's so great.
Tobias for $10. How did no one show up for Ryan's stream? Me and Project Taco only had 30 views last night fighting the squids as they ran away from Super Earth. Where was everyone? Did Jeremy stream something? Yeah, every person in the world must have been there. Thundarius, my name is Inigo Montoya. You stole my butter dishes. Prepare to die.
Jay probably. I don't think anyone's going to steal the butter dishes.
Yellow Flash, if he breaks in your house, he says, I'm coming for Jay's first Punisher.
Hey, you got to find it. I got that thing under lock and key somewhere on the floor.
Well, you just gave away.
Somewhere.
Cosmic Thunder for 2. To celebrate the Switch 2 dropping, I bought a PlayStation 5. There you go. Mike Hill for 20. Screen Rant said James Gunn's Superman being weak is the best way to move past Zack Snyder's Superman.
Wow. If that's holy crap.
How is that going to work?
Yeah.
The chat for 2, popcorn vessel just sounds stupid. Who says that? Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
Popcorn bucket. Jack Allen, if Superman's James Gunn and She-Tastic 4 flops, is the box office cooked for the year? Also, what happens to James Gunn if Superman majorly flops? I think both those movies are going to be in the $650 to $700 million range. That's kind of been my prediction for both of them. If Superman makes like 475, I don't think there's any possibility it does numbers like that. But if it does, if it makes like $500 million, I think there's some significant changes at DC. I think
it has to be.
I think they retool a lot of what their plans were, but I don't know what you can fucking do now. I'm not sure, but it'll certainly be okay. We can't go forward with just this. We need to change things.
Yeah.
But in terms of the box office the rest of the year, I think How to Train Your Dragon is going to do really solid things. I think Jurassic World Rebirth is going to do big numbers. I think that Wicked for Good comes out later this year, right?
Yeah, and Avatar 3.
Yeah, Wicked for Good comes out later. The first one made what, 750 million. The second one might do more. Despite how insufferable we might think the main characters are, the audience really came out and supported that first one, and I think they will come out and do the same for the second. Avatar comes out. Who has any idea what that's going to do? So there's some other big hitters left up, certainly.
You think Avatar 3 will hit $1 billion?
$1 billion? Yeah, the question was how much
so?
more than that it'll be. I mean, I think
the movies were like 9 years apart or something like that, 11 years apart. And then it was kind of like, okay, Phenomenon again, 3D. Yeah. And that's like now this one's coming out, which quite possibly like could be billion, Avatar right? 3A and Avatar 3B could be out in February.
Is that for real?
Yeah, because he said like James Cameron was talking about how it's hard for him to cut anything from this film. And that was a while ago. We talked about it, that he might cut this into 2 films.
I didn't talk about it.
And because it's like the movie right now is like 4+ hours. So I was guessing in February.
I did hear about a really long runtime. Yeah. Because what did Way of Water do? Yeah, Way of Water did 2.3 billion.
Yeah.
So yes, I think that Avatar 3 will do $1 billion. So the question is, how much more than that will it do? And you're right to be like, look, between these 2 movies, there was a lot of space. You know, it's not like we saw an Avatar every 2 years. So now all of a sudden, 3 years after the last one, which was again a massive global worldwide hit, what will it do? I have no fucking idea. But I don't know why these movies do as well as they do, but I can guarantee it's going to be over $1 billion. I just don't know where that lands. Does it hit 2?
That's why I'm wondering, like, if they break it up into 2 films, if they end up doing that, like, you wonder if it'll do that well. So hard to say. Coming for you for Christmas. Avatar 3, where they fight the bad Na'vi. The humans team up with the Na'vi to fight the bad fire aliens that want to kill all the other aliens.
Why does fire always have to be evil, bro? I like fire. I always pick fire Pokemon as my starters. Fire's
maybe
cool.
If you watch that movie, you'll cheer for the fire ones, and maybe they'll win.
I'd love that. Fucking Jake can watch all his other kids die. Brock, remember to stay hydrated. Drink water. I ran downstairs during the intro and got my water, Brock.
Get my water in here. Got the Rippaverse cooler.
Nice. This is a $9 fucking probably plastic that like poisons me as I drink it, but I don't care. It's cheap. Like $9 half-gallon thing from Walmart. Jesus Davila with a gifted membership. Thank you. Thomas Whitted for $1.99. I have the Transformers retro bucket. There you go.
They had one?
The Miki will inherit the earth. They just revealed the new ROG Xbox Ally, a handheld Xbox PC that has access to your Xbox game library, Game Pass, and anything can run on Windows 11, including Steam, aka PSN games as well. LOL. I think I saw a video of that yesterday going around, the new handheld thing.
For Xbox?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll talk about it tonight on Tuesday night's main event because Jeremy wants to keep that more gaming central.
Dark Knight Rider for $5. I saw a video that showed Disney guests on May 4th wait more than 2 hours in line to get a $60 popcorn bucket. Reminds me of South Park's line ride bit.
$60 one? I don't know if they sold one for that expensive, but the line for the Figment buckets was at 5 hour wait.
I remember when that was happening. And I didn't even get it. Like the bucket looked dumb.
And it's a little purple dragon. And you get rainbow colored. They don't even put the popcorn in. You get a little bag of rainbow colored popcorn.
I don't want them to put the popcorn. Like if I get one of those things, when I buy one, I don't want them to put the popcorn in it. I want to keep it's for display. Okay.
It's just weird that it's designed for you to eat popcorn.
Look, I don't want anything to go in here that I am not like specifically approving, right? I don't want any leftover butter in there to mix with something, right? Got to keep it sanitary. I don't know where my Slimer went. He's somewhere around. The chat for 2. Ryan, Disney contacted you about Black Panther yet?
Yeah. What's up with that contract?
I can neither confirm nor deny. The Trillis for 5. What's wrong with these actresses potentially undermining movie sales with bad PR? Rachel Zegler, Nico Parker, Pedro Pascal. I don't know. Almost Ward for 5. Funny enough, I just started Nightfire playthrough for PS2 on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
It's a blast. Also, me and my brother would turn gravity to low and just jump around.
Yeah.
Bro, I used to do a lot of fucking no gravity shit on Halo. We used to go to the biggest, like the little forest fucking map. I forget which Halo this was, to be honest. We used to go to the big ass forest map and we would do just rocket launchers and snipers, turn gravity all the way fucking down and just be bouncing around the whole fucking place. But once you go, it takes you a long ass time to come down. So somebody can fire one of those rockets like before you're landing and you don't have time to jump before. Like it was fun as shit. The chat for 20. Happy birthday, Lady Erin D. Is it actually Lady Erin D's birthday?
She's celebrating it all month, apparently.
And Sagittarian, Jessica Lindstrom. Is it Sagittarius? I don't know. Isn't Sagittarius later in the year? Isn't that like late November, early December for Sagittarius?
I don't know if asking me is the best.
Why the fuck would you know? Anyway, if it's your birthday, Lady Erin D, happy birthday. If it's not, thanks for the money. Thank you, the chat. Teams, read the Sydney Sweeney article.
What?
I don't know what Sydney Sweeney article you're talking about. Nagarnal, prepare yourselves, Helldivers. New war bond incoming Thursday. Oh, and the Termines have invaded Super Earth. Thank you.
Oh, look at that. I did hear that her soap with her bath water sold out in like less than 15 minutes. And now they're selling on eBay for ridiculous amounts of money. I should have just bought some and resold it on eBay. It was like $8 in the store, right? $8 or $9.
No idea. I wouldn't. I got some pretty fucked up things on my random search history from doing research for things, but I don't need to look at Sydney Sweeney bathwater bars. But yeah, I guess it could have been a financial boon for me that I missed out on. Nader's bricks for 2. What?
It's just funny.
The word boon? Why is that funny?
I don't know. Continue.
I'm using that word right, aren't I?
You are. Are you asking me?
You were laughing.
It's just this. Bro, hold on. Please let me show this before you continue. Look at this graph right here. Dude, this is what I'm saying. I'm buying the next batch. $165? Is somebody actually paying that? It's got 15 watchers on it. A freaking $165 for a Sydney Sweeney bathwater bar?
Can you scroll down to sold on the left side? So you see where you have like category, all prices, min max. Scroll all the way down on that. Just keep scrolling. Keep going.
I don't want like nudes to come up.
No,
this one
won't.
is 20 sold. $244.
Keep going down. Here, no, there. Show only sold items. You see the check mark on the side right there? Yeah. Man. Well, you just got Sydney's bathwater.
$300. $300. $239. $200. Sold June 10th. $234. $189. I'm getting the next batch, baby. If I can make $50 off that, are you kidding me? Who paid $300, dude? $300? Oh my god! I don't know what to say, man. $300.
It's wild.
Thanks for showing me how to find sold items now. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the only way you should look at things on eBay if you're like trying to figure that out. Because anyone can list something for whatever, right? But sold item shows you what the ones that have actually sold.
God, what is this other Sydney Sweeney stuff?
Nader's bricks for $2. We need Jay to be where these. We need Jay to be there when these actors are giving bad takes to tell them, let's keep them moving.
Yes, I need to give him a shirt.
Probably. Well, on to a different franchise and a different controversy. We can get to that here and how different people respond to it. The Harry Potter show announced a bunch of different cast members. Again, we now got a lot of cast members filling out for this entire thing for the Harry Potter television series. And it still remains that the one massive outlier, people have comments about one or two others. Hermione had some discussion. The Snape casting overwhelmingly is one that everybody hates and makes zero sense and looks nothing like the person in question. We got a lot of castings yesterday for Molly Weasley, for Draco, for Lucius Malfoy, Seamus Finnegan, Pavarti Patil, Lavender Brown, Petunia Dursley. Look, they got to frump her up a little bit for because I should not want to fuck Petunia Dursley, okay? So maybe do a little frumping up when it comes to that. But a lot of characters are filling out. Almost every one of these characters at some point in time, almost every one of these actors is going to be asked about the backlash from J.K. Rowling. And there's a couple different ways you can respond to this. Tom Felton, who played Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies, is returning as him in the Cursed Child play on Broadway in the next couple months. He gave a great answer to this question. Harry Potter star Tom Felton praises J.K. Rowling when asked about her trans pushback. And of course, media is going to do this. They're going to try to, because they want to be able to generate these headlines. So this is why they ask the questions that they do. And that's why all of the people associated with the show eventually will be asked about that. Here's Tom Felton's response.
How does the sort of Twitterverse controversy around J.K. Rowling's views impact you at all, or impact your work on the world at all?
No, I can't say it does. I'm not really that attuned to it. The only thing I always remind myself is that I've been lucky enough to travel the world. Here I am in New York, and I have not seen anything bring the world together more than Potter. And she's responsible for that, so I'm incredibly grateful.
Man, perfect answer. Perfect.
Yep. Absolutely perfect answer from Tom Felton. And ultimately, very few people actually disagree with J.K. Rowling's views on the trans controversy, all that stuff. It's a very popular opinion. Outside of actors in the media space, most all, like 99% of people in the world, agree with J.K. Rowling when it comes to that. But like I said, everyone attached to this show at some point is going to be asked about this. And now Nick Frost, the actor who's going to play Hagrid in the upcoming series, and I actually think it's a great casting. He, of course, was asked about this as well. HBO Harry Potter star Nick Frost opens up about the J.K. Rowling controversy. Now, he is somebody that does not agree with J.K. Rowling, but I still think that we're going to have a lot worse answers than this when it comes to these things. Harry Potter star Nick Frost disagrees with J.K. Rowling's trans views, disabled Instagram comments amid backlash to working with her. We don't align in any way. Now, that's the headline, but we'll get to his actual answer. In a new interview with The Observer, the Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz star was asked about the backlash he received. So get this, because he got announced to play the character, you had a bunch of trans activists go into his comment section and flood it, right?
Yeah.
Because how dare you work with J.K. Rowling? How dare you work with this person? How dare you take this role? That's where all this harassment, if you want to call it that, is coming from. It's from the freaks and the weirdos and the pronouns and bios people. That's where it's coming from. Rowling, who has courted controversy in recent years, is his executive producer on the new series. Frost revealed in his interview he had disabled comments on his Instagram post about his casting due to the amount of backlash. However, he said about the author, she's allowed her opinion and I'm allowed mine. They just don't align in any way, shape, or form. I also don't think that that's a terrible answer at all. Obviously he aligns with the trans folks who are harassing him in the comments. There's going to be things, maybe it's from Papa Sidhu, maybe it's from other people who want to be more outspoken with this, who are going to be very, very harsh about her specifically. But that's a guy who doesn't agree. Hey, we don't align. She's allowed her opinion. I'm allowed mine. We're excited to make the show.
It's a non-answer.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a non-answer. So,
and I think that's, like, to me, I would hope that all of these people go into it with the mindset of, hey, I don't agree, but she's fine to have her opinion. I'm fine to have mine. We're working to make this thing together. Every one of these fucking people is going to be asked this question because the media desperately wants to be able to generate those headlines. I love Tom Felton's answer, obviously. Totally has her back on everything. I don't hate Nick. I obviously disagree with him on whatever his opinions are about the trans movement, blah, blah, blah. But as long as you're out there saying, she can have her opinion, I can have mine, we're doing this together thing, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, hopefully they have a good PR to help some of the younger actors, because the disgusting media is going to slam it in their face too, and just constantly ask them. Hopefully they can get a quote or something like that to slam JK or ignite the trans activists. And hopefully those stupid trans activists out there that are constantly bullying people for whatever reason, hopefully they'll stay away from the younger actors, but they probably won't. So they probably won't. That's too bad. Crazy people, man.
Of course, there's a Sydney Sweeney fucking headline over here.
Yeah. She gained more than 30 pounds.
My boobs got bigger
and my butt got.
I'm not even going to give the satisfaction to the chat by clicking on it.
After people are buying her soap for $300.
Not going to give you guys the satisfaction.
It's too bad that I wonder if we're ever getting to that place where people just stop caring. I know I have. I don't care. Like, the show's already kind of screwed up anyway. So just because someone aligns with J.K. Rowling's opinion or not, it's like, I don't think it's going to make anything worse. So
I hope that I have no trust in these people and like the activists who desperately want to get an answer from each and every individual person, whether they agree with J.K. Rowling about this or not. I hope they don't, like, they leave the kids out of that shit.
That's what I was saying. Like, I hope they
do.
They don't bully the younger ones or anything like that, or stick these questions in their face. Hey, if you had a trans friend, would you be friends with them? You know what I mean? Like they'll ask him stupid questions like that.
It's funny because I'm saying that like don't involve these kids in this type of question that they shouldn't be being forced to answer. While the people that are asking the questions, they are advocating that these 10-year-olds decide whether to cut their dick off or not.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, they probably won't. They won't go too easy on them.
Yep. Too bad.
All right.
Crazy people.
Where are we here? Gavstar News Scream. Hello. Max Relax gives some membership. Thanks, Max Relax. The chat for $2. Ryan needed a Galactus vessel to drink from. Vessel. The Beast. Are those bubbles?
Yeah, they're freaking bubbles.
Okay. Remain blessed, y'all. Thanks to Beast. Jay hates bubbles.
Hate them.
2-penny puppet for 5. If I leave my garage door overnight, no shit, I get letters from the police telling me not to do that anymore.
Really?
Or cops coming by your place at night. I guess maybe they kept the bad people away, you know? Vlad the Man. Hero, Ray, and JJ. Fry Rye.
What's up, Vlad?
Thanks, Vlad. Naggernall. Jay's music channel is getting enough views. It's criminal. Check out The Mental Chill.
Oh, thank you. Just a fun thing put together.
The Trillist for 5. The LGBs need to distance themselves from the TQs. The latter are insufferable at this point.
I can't keep up with all the lettering anymore.
Neither can Gavin Newsom. And those are his voters. But I think we're all caught up.
Wonderful.
What do you think about that, Jay?
We're almost 2 minutes over. So, we got to tighten the ship up come Thursday. But we'll see how it goes.
2 minutes.
Maybe the popcorn bucket rant was a little longer than it was supposed to be.
There's somebody who was really upset we were talking about pop. There's nothing else to talk about today. You're talking about popcorn buckets. It's like, we had a bunch of stuff to talk about. Bitch! So, yeah, give us our popcorn bucket talk. That's fine.
Sorry. I didn't have the chat up when I was talking about it, so I didn't see the complaints.
It's okay.
But, Anyway, Tuesday night's main event tonight. Me or Ryan will not be there, but sure, the rest of the crew are there talking about games, Splatoon, everything else. Who knows? Probably some Switch 2 and Mario Kart World talk. I'm assuming, and I'm just guessing.
Probably. Yeah, I ain't going to be there.
And that's it.
Lady Aaron D says, you guys suck. Is it because it's not your birthday?
Or is she talking about us individually?
Yeah, fucking could be. Black Kane for 5. Jay hates being hit with bubbles because he's too close to washing. Come on, you're asking troops not to mess with kids.
I just don't like him in my eyes, my face, but here we are.
Are you retarded?
Says
Maximus B2.
Sorry. She said we suck because we're not on Tuesday night main event anymore.
Lady Aaron D. We fucking carry this thing, this fucking daily show. Me and Jay come in, we put in the work. We do the shit. Like we make sure we're prepared. We got all these things to talk about. We entertain you guys. Our reward for that is not having to be on Tuesday night's main event.
Exactly.
It's not having to sit there and talk about nothing for 4 hours and while somebody reads super chats poorly. That I consider that a reward. I know people love the show, and I know people miss us on the show. I just actually
probably more you than me, but
to be honest, I didn't even know Jay wasn't on the show. I just assumed I assumed he was still there. I don't watch it, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, cheers, Lady Aaron D. Sorry to disappoint you on your birthday.
Yeah.
Sorry that to give disrespect your wishes on your birthday. But that's it for us. Thanks to the people over on Rumble. Thanks to our locals chat that made a Beardo popcorn bucket. You can go check out there. And we will talk to you guys not tomorrow, but on Thursday, which is Lady Aaron D's birthday.
Ah, there we go.
There you go. The Night Fryer for 2. Trans should be in Transformers, only with kids. Thanks, the Night Fryer. With that super chat, we'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody.